Hello and welcome to Oddworld, new and tasty. This is the HD remake of the game Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, which originally released in November 1997 and was one of my favourite games ever. I played the heck out of this game when I was a kid, and now I am super happy to see an HD remake coming out. I'm just going to play the hell out of this, I'm going to have a lot of fun, and hopefully you're going to have a lot of fun too. Now before I dive in, a few disclaimers. First of all, the frame rate is not that good. That is not my fault, that is not the fault of my hardware. In fact, I recently purchased some new hench hardware that is going to do the job for a lot of games very good. I honestly, at this point, I believe that the optimization of this game is not very good. I think it's just a bit of a lazy console port, to be honest. And the reason I believe that is because the frame rate is just as bad when I'm not recording. That's not normal, is it? I think it's just, it's a poorly optimized port, but I'm going to love it either way because it's a remake of one of my favourite games, and I hope that despite perhaps a bit of choppiness here or there, you're still going to have a good time. I really hope you're going to have a good time. I'm going to have a good time.
Yep.
So if you don't know the way this game works, it's not supposed to have a difficulty setting, I can tell you that much. The original game did not have a difficulty setting. It had only one difficulty. Difficult. So that's the way we're going to do it, because that's the way I was brought up. Now this single-player co-op thing, this was in the original game. Now it wasn't a co-op in that you played two Abes, it was in that every time you died, so you started off controller port 1, when you died, that controller turned off, and controller in port 2 is what controlled Abe. That was what counted as co-op back then, which is pretty cute, but the fact that grab a controller each is mentioned here sort of solidifies the idea that this is probably a bit of a terrible console port. Hopefully patches will improve it. That's what happened with the other Oddworld games, because they released like all of them. Abe's Odyssey, Abe's Exodus, Munch's Odyssey, and Stranger's Wrath. And Munch's Odyssey and Stranger's Wrath were also like terrible, choppy frame rate, bad resolution, and it made no sense for their frame rate to be so bad because they're such old games. They're going to be graphically difficult to run? No, it's just poor optimization, which is what I think this game has as well. But before this whole video seems like I'm just griping about optimization, I'm not. I'm just really trying to explain why I'm not going to get the smoothest Abe out of here that I possibly can. But I think we're going to have a good time either way. So these are all the controls, I don't care about that. I'm an Abe Pro. This is the cutscene. From the original, I know every word from this cutscene.
This is Rupture Farms. They say it's the biggest meat processing plant on Oddworld.
His voice is different. The way he's pronouncing these words is different, and that's throwing me off my voice a bit. I used to work here.
Well,
I was really a slave.
I was really a slave.
Like all the others.
That's me. My name is Abe. I was Employee of the Year. Now I'm dead meat. I crossed the meanest boss in the world. Mullet the Gluckin. My whole life changed in just one day. I was working late one night at Rupture Farms.
It's a bit bright.
We used to make beach munchies. Until the beaches were through. We still made pearmite pies. And we made some good scram cakes, too. I thought I had a good job, but that was before I knew how we'd make new and tasty. I was still to find. What? The truth, it turned out. Now that would blow my mind. The Gluckins were scared because profits were grim. Termites and scrabs had been turning up thin.
As you can see, things are going down. What? My God, Mullet, what are you gonna do about it, huh? What?
But Mullet was cool.
Show him.
Alright, boss. He had a plan.
How?
This new kind of meat?
Well, we were gonna rest.
It was us.
We got a lot of food left. We'll chop them up.
I just had to escape. I just had to be free. I didn't even know I had a destiny. So, get me out of here!
10 out of 10 best cutscene, would watch again. Now one thing I'm noticing is that there's a number 2 where there should be nothing. Because the original game had 99 Medokans being what Abe is, in the game for you to rescue. This apparently has 299. I don't know if that means the game's going to be a lot longer, but if it is, I completely welcome it. I was just looking forward to an HD remake of Abe. If I get 3 times as much Abe, I'm happy. So again, now that we're in-game, I'm going to apologise about the frame rate not being absolutely amazing, but that's just the way it has to be for now. And I'm also going to apologise for being too pro, because the thing about playing the original game is, I know where all the secrets are. Such as below this barrel. And the secrets are where the lion's share of Mudokons to rescue are found. The ones you find like during the course of the main game, as it were, are not that many. Whereas secrets contain most of what you want. But hopefully... Oh! I was going to say hopefully my pro-osity is going to make for a nice, quick, easy-to-watch playthrough, but there are some subtle differences between this remake and the original. It's probably just enough differences for me to get caught off guard and die enough times. And now to introduce you to one of the mainstays of the Abe franchise, which is possession. Abe can chant, and when he chants, he takes possession of his enemies, like such. I can control this sling. I can make the sling talk. Yo. Here, boy. And of course, the ever-important get down, look out, because that way I can shoot enemies behind you. Got an achievement for that, nice. That way I can shoot enemies behind you without killing you. And that's... oh, sorry to scare you all. And that's going to be important for a lot of puzzles. But for now, all I need to do is blow him up, which is another great thing you can do in this game. So, alright, now that I've gotten rid of the slig, what I need to do is I need to get all of these Medokons down to that ring of birds there. Can you see it? Those birds are making a ring. When I chant, that's going to turn into a portal for them to escape. The only way they can escape is if they are near the... oh, shit! And that's the thing. Because it's now 2.5D or whatever they call it, it's not... I don't fully know when I'm safe, when I'm in danger. Am I too close? No, that's safe. So, follow me, buddy. Damn it! Get up. Let's do it. So yeah, I just need to get them all... oh shit. Just need to get them all down here. Now you wait. One thing I'm going to say right now, right off the bat, is that this is an auditory clusterfuck. In the original game, the Mudokons weren't chatting like this. And okay, it's funny, cute dialogue or whatever, but when there's when there's like 10 Medokans in a room, all chatting at once, it gets to be a bit much very quickly, so I don't think I'm going to very much enjoy this aspect of the game. But hopefully we're going to have some good fun either way. Now come on, get yourself to safety, little buddy. That's alright, you just wait there. Now the problem with Medokans is they're kind of like lemmings. They will do whatever you say, even if it will lead to their own demise. They are not very good with their survival instincts. So it's up to us to guide them true. So come on, nice and quick. Yeah, you wait. And that's why I'm talking to them individually. There is a way to address every single Medokan in the room at once. But if I would... Oh, shit. How far back am I? Not that far back. So yeah, if I were to tell all of them to follow... Yeah, this new point of view, going from 2D to 3D, is going to screw me up a bit. But yeah, if I were to tell them all to follow me at the exact same time, they all would, even if it would lead them into buzzsaws. Well, these aren't even buzzsaws, these are like meat grinders, so yeah, we've got to be very responsible with the Olia button. The Olia button is not to be trifled with. Right, come on. Alright. God, I can't wait to free these Medokans just so that they'll stop talking. Right, so, I think it's now safe to address all of them. Yeah, because there's no grinders down here. So, let's free them! And there you go. So one thing I have noticed straight away is that there are more Medokans there than there were in the original secret. I think in the original you only say like 3, not 9. So that 299 Medokans thing, maybe it's not pointing towards a longer game after all. Maybe it's just a game in which there are a higher concentration of Medokans to rescue. And that's fine as well, because there is something very satisfying about rescuing massive amount of Medokans all at the same time. To the point that when I could get away with it in the original game, I would hoard Medokans. I'd put off on rescuing them until I gathered loads of them. There weren't very many places in the game you could do that, because most of this game is like, once you go forward, you can't go back. But there was like the odd place here and there where you could. And when you could, I would. So let's just carry on. And you'll notice here, that Slig didn't see me. Let's see what this directory is all about. Sorry, the controls of this remake are slightly different to the controls of the original, so you might see me jumping around from time to time. So we are in Rupture Farms. There are 290 employees in Rupture Farms, because I got rid of 9. And in Zulag 1, which is the Zulag we are in, there are 61 to be found. So this directory is very helpful. It shows us exactly how many Medokans we need to save. Because like I said, most of this game is once you go forward, you can't go back. There is no backtracking in this game, so we can know with confidence that if there are still some workers remaining as we're about to leave Zulag 1, then we need to go back and look for the rest of them, because we'll not be coming back to Zulag 1 again. Or, spoiler alert, we will, but there'll be an entirely different set of Medokans once we do. So the Medokans we don't save now, we will not be able to save again. And there was a secret down there with the mines, and one thing I'm going to notice and show you now is that you can see a trapdoor, yeah, under those 3 mines. There were no trapdoors in the original game, because of course it was all a flat 2D surface. The only way to find all the secrets was just experimentation and persistence, basically. There was no internet back in those days, or at least if there was, I didn't have access to it. So you just had to search until you found what you needed. But it looks like this remake is going to be a bit more forgiving, in the sense that there will be visual cues for secrets. And that's helpful to me, because A, I probably don't commit every single secret in this game to memory. I'll be impressed if I do. But B, because it's a remake, there might be some new and/or different secrets. So yeah, this frame rate, at times, it's gonna get painful. And I'm really sorry for that. I mean, I'm not on max graphics at the minute, I'm sort of on mid graphics. I did go all the way down to minimum graphics, but not only does that look crap, it actually didn't affect the frame rate at all, which is why I think it's an optimization issue rather than a hardware issue. And again, my hardware is amazing. I've played other games on it right now, and I'm just pulling in... Yeah. I'm just pulling in incredible frame rates. So I think any frame rate problems are entirely down to this game. It was only released for PC a few days ago. The Oddworld has a proven track record of just not knowing how to treat their PC users. And like I say, in a couple of months' time, maybe a patch will come out and this will be the smooth 60 frames per second experience that they told us it was gonna be. I mean, alright, I know there's a secret here somewhere. In the original, you just had to press down, like when there was a secret way, you just had to press down to get there. But now you have to press the use key. Alright, come on, I know it's... There we go, look, I can see the trapdoor now, so it's definitely here. There we go, just need to be pressing the right button. Get yourself down there, Abiru. You've got Medokins to save. So, I apologise if me doing all of these secrets isn't actually the best introduction to this game. Because of course you're not seeing without the secrets, this level is pretty easy, and it serves as a nice introduction to all the mechanics. Whereas with the secrets, you just dive right in. There's complicated stuff going on already, yeah? But, no, I don't do things by halves. I know the Medokins are here to save, so I'm going to save them. Alright, these bombs work completely differently than they did in the original. But luckily, they're still pretty easy to control, so that's fine. Now, if you're wondering why I'm blowing up these red things, so long as these red robots are around, I can't possess slings. They will electrocute me if I try to, so I need to get rid of them. Nice. Now, these slings belong to me. I will shoot you before you can shoot me. Nice. And assassination. Clean, surgical, precise. Okay. Another way in which this game is an auditory clusterfuck is that Abe continues to make his chanting noise after you possess a sling. In the original, once you'd possessed something, then that noise would go away. So yeah, at this point, in these initial first impressions, I'm tempted to say that the game is impressing me in loads of ways, except for auditory. I actually think there's way too much going on with the sound in this game. I think it all just needs to sort of take a step back, because it's like every sound effect is going on all at once, jockeying for attention, and it's too much. It really is too much. So of course, now that we've got grenades from that secret, we can go back and access this secret. So that's sort of how it works in this game. Sometimes if you miss one secret, you miss the means to getting further secrets. And if you're wondering why saving Medokins is important, by the way, it's because... and I don't know if this is a huge spoiler, at the end of the game, Abe... Well, no, it's not a spoiler. You saw it in the beginning. Abe is like... He's hung up, isn't he? He's trapped. This entire game is basically a flashback. My whole life changed in just one day. This is that day. So we know that he's in trouble at the end of the game. And basically, if you rescue more than 50% of the Medokins in the game, then they will rescue you. If you don't, then they won't. So in order to get the good ending of the game, you need to get saving. And I don't think there's a reason to rescue every single Medokin beyond bragging rights, but obviously we're going to do it. Well, we're going to try to do it. I don't actually know. I know I can save 99. I don't know if I can save 299.
Hey there. Hello. Follow me. Okay.
So again, there's a lot of Medokins here that I need to be controlling. Well, not controlling, leading. But I don't really want to. While that electricity is there.
Okay.
By which I mean I don't want to be using the all-ear command, because they will just run through that electricity and get themselves killed, and that's no good.
Break time's over. Hello. Follow me. Follow me.
Yeah, follow him. Just do it, just do it. And... are you? Well, soon all of your snacking problems will be solved. Because we're going to be turning into Medokin Pops. Ooh, interestingly, when you saw that cutscene there, the Medokin Pops graphic they used was the really cutesy, non-gory one. In the original game, it was just a severed Madokan head on a stick with blood still dripping out of its neck and like the bit of its spinal cord and stuff. It was a grisly image. And Japan, I think. Oh yes, in Japan or China or both, I think Japan has a problem with the amount of. Now I can't say that because they've just released The Evil Within, which is the most gory thing in the world. But I know they had problems with this game in Japan. I don't know if you. I think it's. I definitely know that I'm rambling, but I don't want to be culturally insensitive by getting things wrong, and that's why I'm tripping over my words. I know for a fact that in China, you can't show bones. They don't like that. So that bit of severed spinal cord meant that you had to change the graphic. But I think it was changed for Japan's sake rather than China, because I know for a fact that the reason Abe has a thumb and 2 fingers is because Japan were insulted by the original game, in which Abe had a thumb and 3 fingers. All Madokans did. And that was apparently insulting to Japanese culture, because a lot of workers tend to lose their little fingers in, well, did, past tense, to lose their little fingers in factory accidents. So they thought that Abe having, like, 1 thumb, 3 fingers was like an insulting reference to that. Lorne Lanning, of course, denies that. I mean, he probably didn't know. I mean, how would you know that without even being in Japan? And, I believe he was also unsure as to the genuineness of that complaint. He in fact thought the Japanese just wanted a bit of that money, because of course they were like, "Hey, you've insulted us. You've got to pay us, and we'll make this all go away." So he did what he kind of had to, otherwise he'd be sued, because, you know, insulting cultures is a dangerous thing to do when you're not on Reddit and you're not anonymous. Fucking Reddit. Let's oh, sorry. They get insulted when you tell them to wait.
Oh, hey, hello. Follow me.
Get your cute little selves down here. So yeah, as I was saying, he forked out to Japan, paid them the money they needed for the fact that they were insulted, and then in all future games, he made the Madokan pop graphic less gory, and he made Madokans only have 2 fingers instead of 3, which they couldn't complain about, because... Ooh, there we go. Because there's no long history of Japanese factory workers losing their 2 smallest fingers, just the 1. So there you go. It was no longer culturally insensitive once these poor guys lost yet another finger. Madokans just can't win. They just have such a bad lot in life. Even people in real life demand that they lose limbs for their satisfaction. And that's just no good. Whoa, okay. Now that's... Again, muscle memory took over, and had I been playing the old game with the original controls, that would have been a running jump. Instead, it was just sort of a weird, lurching, leapfroggy thing. Right, you!
Hi. Hello. Follow me. Okay.
Get off that deadly, deadly, deadly bit, because that's definitely bottomless pit, yeah? Going down there would be completely terrible and a bad idea. You do not want to go down bottomless pits. Or maybe you do, maybe it's a secret, good god. And right now is when I'm going to just give a shout out to the quick save feature in this game. The original Abe's Odyssey did not have a quick save feature. And as you've probably noticed already, a lot of the secrets in this game require you to just sort of dance with death. You have to just sort of try lots of deadly things until something is randomly a secret and not a bottomless pit or a exploding doom device. So the fact that we can now quick save means that we've got a lot more room when it comes to both experimentation and to accidentally holding a grenade for too long. So yes, loving the quick save feature. And basically, all the little tweaks and changes they've made to this game so far, I approve of. The only thing I don't approve of, as I said, is the too busy sound design. They need to tone it down. What does it even remind me of? Nice. It reminds me of, like, you know the drunk imps in Conker's Bad Fur Day? It's like the Mudokons are those. They're just high-pitched voices. They don't stop talking. It's a nightmare. 5. No casualties. Right, all here.
Everyone. Hello. Follow me.
Get down here. Oh, you. He needs some help. There we go. And another shout out I'm going to make to the way in which this game has become more convenient. You notice I scared those bats away with that explosion, but then they came back again after a few seconds. In the original, if you scared bats away, you had to like leave the area and come back before the bats would return, which obviously in some cases is just simply not viable. It's either inconvenient and a waste of time, or it's actually impossible to do. So the fact that the bats are going to come down now is just one way in which this game is just going to be a little bit more streamlined to play. Because the original Abe's Odyssey, it had so much trial and error, so much, like, the bulk of the game time was just you doing things you'd already done over and over and over again, because you died doing one difficult thing, and then it put you back quite a ways. Now that's no longer an issue. I think playing this game is going to be a lot more palatable, actually, because again, one of my favourite games... one of my I don't like the way they keep talking. It's in my ears, you know. But one of my favourite games, as I've said, but playing it can sometimes feel a bit daunting, if only because a single mistake can mean like 10 more minutes. Fleeing deeper into the grinding lines than ever before, but not long ago Abe was just waxing floors! Okay! We've made it to the next part of the level, as you can obviously tell by the way there was a little text break, which wasn't in the original. These text breaks are new, and I'm looking forward to seeing if they add to the story or not, but either way, new part of the level, so I'm going to cut recording now. I don't know how long this video is, but that's not my concern right now. My concern is the fact that I've got a whole new recording setup, new webcam, new laptop, new recording software, legally obtained recording software this time. That wasn't a wink of I'm lying, that was a wink of I actually am doing it legally now, but I wasn't before! Probably shouldn't admit that, but yeah, so basically everything's new, and I want to stop now and actually see if it's all working. I want to see if I can actually make a video. Yeah, sorry Abe, okay, I'll just cut this short because Abe's getting impatient. You know what I'm trying to say. I want to see if this can get onto YouTube and we can all just have a good time. I want this to be the start of an excellent playthrough. Alright, fucking hell, I'm moving you around now, you've got no reason to be angry. I'm just going to cut this short because Abe's a dick. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you later.